Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Ojineka.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Ojineka.
How are you?
Yeah, take charge.
I will, as always. Good morning, Tundu. How are you? Well, happy birthday, Rufai.
Thank you.
Great. I hope we're going to celebrate.
Chicken and stuff going on already, so you had better get out of the studio in time to join. Before it gets finished.
Good job, good job. We will celebrate. Well,
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sure. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United Kingdom, a new poll says Brits would rather have the Duke of Cambridge, Prince William, as the new king rather than Prince Charles. When the Queen of England dies, Prince William took 47% of the public vote compared to 27% of respondents who want to see tradition continue with the Queen's eldest child. In the United States, officials released the causes of death of 4 people who died as a direct result of the January 6th Capitol riot by supporters of former President Donald Trump. In Nigeria, no fewer than 80 fugitives have voluntarily returned to the Owerri Custodial Center amidst calls from the federal government that they will not be charged for jailbreak. And photos of the Vice President Yemi Oshibajo decorating the new Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, have made the rounds. And reactions on Twitter as a lady on Facebook shared photos of some old Biafran notes that she found in her father's house. Under sports, FIFA's world ranking reveals that Nigeria's Super Eagles garnered 1,487 points to become the 3rd best team on the African continent, overtaking Algeria and Morocco. Finally, under entertainment, a documentary series spanning over 2 decades about the life and work of rapper Kanye West has been acquired by Netflix for a reported sum of $30 million. And Mrs. Sri Lanka's beauty pageant descended into chaos when a former title holder declared that the winner was ineligible because she was divorced and forcibly removed her crown. Let's begin what's trending in Nigeria. Loretta Onoche, media aide to President Muhammadu Buhari on social media, has come under fire after stating in a tweet that the president won't stop visiting doctors in the United Kingdom because of comments from whalers. Supporting the president's trip, Loretta stated that people across the world get to see their personal doctors at least once a year, alluding that the president has been seeing his doctor in the United Kingdom for 40 years. In the meantime, Nigerians in the United Kingdom, including author and activist Reno Omokri, have continued to protest against President Muhammadu Buhari's medical trip. Well, let's take a quick listen to Reno at the Abuja House in London.
When his daughter wanted to have a baby, she went to Spain. His wife, she shops in London. All his children, they school in England. Now, what are they doing with Nigeria? In 6 years he has been president, he has not built a single hospital. Look, they want to spend $1.5 billion renovating the Port Harcourt refinery that is a loss-making refinery. Look, we are tired of this corruption. The man said he was going to come and fight corruption. According to the Transparency International, Nigeria is now more corrupt than at any time in our history.
Yes.
So we're going to sing this song, all of us. We're going down to Abuja House.
We're going down to Abuja House. We're going down to Abuja House.
Rufai, Reno Omokri and his group are obviously not backing down from this protest, as you can see from those videos. But I think the most sensitive part of my story is the comment made by President Muhammadu Buhari's media aide. I mean, a lot of people are saying it was quite insensitive for her to even make that type of comment at this sensitive time in our country.
At first, we wish President Buhari well. We want him to do well. We want his health to be well so he can run a country he got our mandates for in the elections. So that aside. But these people, I should repeat, are not whalers, they are patriots. And let me tell you why they are patriots. They are patriots because they demand a quality healthcare in Nigeria that people can build on, and to build other sectors of the economy, because the people need to be healthy before they can work in other sectors of the economy. They are patriots because they are raising concern as regards the fact that the president went out when our doctors were on strike. They are raising concerns because this same country used to be the beacon of medical tourism. Minister of State for Health, Olonimbe Mamura, was saying last year that at some point UCH used to be a great center for medical tourism. In fact, the Saudi royal family in the 60s will come to get their health care in UCH in Ibadan. In fact, UCH as at then was rated the 4th best teaching hospital in the Commonwealth as at the 60s, 70s. So in this same country that used to have the 4th best teaching hospital in the Commonwealth, all of a sudden, no health care. Nigeria now, I think there was a report done about 3 years ago by the World Health Organization. The healthcare sector in Nigeria now, out of 191 countries surveyed, Nigeria is rated 187th. So it's said by the WHO, out of 191 countries, we have the 3rd, 4th worst healthcare system in this country. So that's why those people are clamoring. It's not that they don't want the president, not to do well, because we want a country where our president can go for medical checkup in Nigeria. Look at the Prime Minister of Britain. When he was sick with coronavirus, he went to St. Thomas Hospital in England. Look at President Trump and other American presidents. They always go to Walter Reed Military Hospital. Why can't we have a country where our president comes to hospitals in our country and uses our doctor? But there's always a path to solution, and there's something we can do to improve our healthcare system. And I'll give you the example of India. There's a doctor called Dr. Devi Shetty in India. He democratized open heart surgery, with his Narayana Hospital, where he has 1,000 beds where people come in and they get their open heart surgery and some other surgeries they need. Open heart surgery now is quite very cheap in India because of his innovation, and the government too supported him. So what we should do is we should come and support local people, Nigerians, that are trying to build centers of excellence in this country. The government should support them so we can have a viable healthcare system. It's sad already that we are starting to make referrals to Kolebu in Ghana. People are sick in Nigeria, they refer them to go get medical care in Ghana. The doctors are on strike and there are problems everywhere. So Loretta Onoche, these people are not whalers, they are patriots. They heard the stories of how the Saudi royal family used to come to Nigeria for healthcare at a point in time, but they don't see that any longer, and they just want a better healthcare for everybody in this country so that the poor can afford healthcare. That's all they want. So don't see them as whalers, please.
Well said, Rufai. Dr. Abati, your comment?
Well, Loretta Onoche, wrote a series of tweets on Twitter.
Yes.
Referring to people who are protesting about the president of Nigeria going to seek Medicare in the United Kingdom as whalers and blackmailers. Mm-hmm. Now, and that the president will not pay attention to blackmailers. I don't know whether, that kind of statement is necessary, because it's like saying that those Nigerians who have expressed a particular viewpoint do not have the right to do so. And I don't know whether tweets are not usually authorized, but Garuba Shehu, having issued a statement on the president's medical trip, I think this overzealousness on the part of Loretta Onoche is absolutely unnecessary and uncalled for. And to refer to Nigerians as whalers and blackmailers, I think it's a bit off color. Now, the second point, of course, was put across by Reno Omokri, who is leading a group for the second time to the front of Abuja House, where the president is, we're told, to protest. Now, that again, apart from the content, is something about the difference in environment. Can you imagine anybody going to the front of Aso Villa to go and chant and do that kind of project? It will not be allowed here. But here in the United Kingdom, they are allowed. In fact, in one of the things that Reno Omokri said, the police even came and talked to them, but nobody was against them expressing themselves. And to think that in their own country, they would not have been able to do that. Now, what is their message? They're saying, we will harass Buhari out of the UK. That's the message. And their concern is about the president leaving Nigeria to go and seek medical care, to go and do medical checkup abroad. But the other view, of course, as put forward by government, is that the president has a set of doctors he has been using for 40 years.
For 40 years.
And Loretta Onochie was saying, well, you don't change your baba just because you have found another baba. Well, even that logic doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
You know, sometimes you wonder whether people even try to apply their brain a little bit, you know, when they express certain views.
Right.
But what is important is that, you know, government spokespersons should also understand that public opinion is a very strong part of democracy, and nobody should assume the dictatorship of a wisdom. So she's doing her job, she can claim, but the grievances of Nigerians is also very, you know, those grievances are also legitimate.
Yes, I'll read a tweet from Olu Fusaya, who wrote, "It's not wailing Ma Loretta Onochie. It's demanding from Mr. President what he promised to stop during his campaign. How many souls have been lost or traumatized because of doctors' strike? And that was the time Baba deemed fit to travel for treatment. That's insensitive of a leader." Tundu.
Yes, the dismissive tone that Loretta Onochie struck is most unfortunate. The whole point of democracy is holding leaders accountable. And I don't think President Buhari would expect anything else. He knows what he signed up for, which is why he ran for president repeatedly. Right. You are allowed to criticize the president in a democratic setting. It's perfectly in order to do so. And I just feel that her whole point, yes, the Baba situation and everybody does it, holds no water.
Not at all.
You know better than we do the enormous privileges the president of Nigeria enjoys. If you're happy to accept all the benefits, you cannot reject the burden. And the burden is for him to show leadership and sacrifice certain things that are customary to him, such as, you know, foreign jaunts for routine medical treatments. We have seen what COVID-19 has done all over the world. This is now the time to signal a commitment to the Nigerian medical sector, to signal a fresh start, a new approach to actually address the rot in our healthcare center, not to take this time on the eve of a resident doctor strike to go abroad for a routine checkup. It is completely wrong on every level. It just is.
Well, it just goes to show that we're not capable at the point. That's what she's reporting, that for 40 years, this man has been seeing his doctor. So because his doctor is in the United Kingdom, he had to go there. I mean, couldn't you have your doctor come to your facility? I mean, it is a doctor, isn't it? Right?
But why can't he go to a private hospital?
I mean,
in
if that's the issue, well, you have to have your facility. That's the issue, right? Correctly made. All right, I guess we'll have to take a short break now. And when we come back, what's trending on the morning show will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the morning show. We're still on what's trending. One of the students abducted by bandits from the Federal College of Forestry Mechanization in Kaduna State, who was among the 5 students that were freed on Monday, revealed that he was freed voluntarily by the bandits and not rescued by Nigerian soldiers. The student, Francis Paul, a 200-level student of agriculture technology at the institution, while speaking to journalists, said the bandits selected some of them one afternoon and told them to sit aside. The bandits then put them on a bike and drove them to a village where they released them on a major road. Rufai, I mean, I guess this confession buttresses the claims by the Nigerian Army as well as the government of Kaduna State when they said that the students, were recovered, and that was the word that they used. Yeah. But now the question is, the bandits, were they paid? I mean, that's the question. Was there some sort of negotiation? Why would they free them voluntarily? The student, Francis, also, talked about the fact that he was ill. And he was one of the students that were selected because he was ill, I guess. And so that's the one question that I would like for us to address.
I mean, I don't think they were paid. Going by what the governor is saying, that we're not negotiating with them, right. We're not giving them, I don't think we're paid. I think what happened was maybe just a clear case of confession, or 2, maybe they used those people to send a message, to the wider community that, oh, your people are still here, you need to come get them. That could be the case. So I don't think they were paid. And the army too did say, oh, we recovered them. But look at the trail. They put them on a bike, sent them to a certain village, told them, oh, come pick your people from this. So they found their way from that village and they found their way back. The question is, what can we gather from that intelligence? What can these people tell us that will be useful in going out there to carry out an operation to bring these people back home? Because like I keep saying, we can sit here and pontificate. But the truth is, we don't feel the pain the family members are feeling. God only knows the blood pressure of most of their family members now. And these people need to get out. So how can we use the intelligence of those people that have been released, that have seen the way things are over them, to be able to probably map the coordinates and go into the bush and see how they can get them out? One way or the other, there has to be an operation. We need to get these people out. And I believe that these people that they have released should be a link to getting these people out. Obviously, they are playing the long game now, but the question is, how more can our hearts take the long game? Some will say, oh, probably the long game we are playing is winning. That's why the bandits say, okay, let me just let these people go because no money is coming out or the likes or something. I might be wrong, I might be right. But most importantly, these people that have come out, how can we use them to be able to get these people out? Because these people need to come back home.
Right.
We can't bear the pains their parents and family members are bearing.
Right. Well said, Rufai. Dr. Bati.
Yes, the other day you showed the video, we played a video
Yes.
on this program of the frustration, the anxiety of the parents. And now 5 out of the AFACA 39 shows that, in fact, a lot more still needs to be done.
Correct.
The military, they made a point earlier on that they recovered.
That was so
and
crazy.
that point was reiterated by the Commissioner for Internal Security in Kaduna State. And we were wondering, were they rescued?
Right.
Were they recovered? And in subsequent statements, the Nigerian Army actually tried to take credit as if they rescued them. So the statement by Francis Paul has now, cleared the air in that regard. So they were not rescued. The bandits themselves
Freed them.
chose to release them.
Yes.
So which means that the security agencies will still have to do their job to find out how the other persons, can be rescued. But we can thank the Nigerian Army for the recovery and for the medical checkup that they had, for the 5 of them at their medical facility. 3 men, Obadiah Habakkuk, Francis Paul, Amina Mary, just 5 of them, right? And we're told that, they didn't have any problem, that they are in very good, healthy condition. But what I find even more shocking in all of this is a report in today's edition of the Nigerian Tribune on page 4, where Francis Paul was talking about what they went through.
Yes, it was
and
very
I think
horrific.
that, nobody should ever be subjected to this kind of dehumanization. The story is titled, "We Drank Water Mixed with Petrol," says rescued Kaduna student. They were giving them water mixed with petrol. And he said the food they were giving them was something called targe, a mixed watery guinea corn, as food. And he went ahead to say that it was tasteless, it was very difficult to swallow, and all 39 of them would be given the target inside a bowl. Can you imagine asking 39 human beings to feed from just one bowl? And that in any case, they were taking them from one bush to the other, from one bush to the other. Okay, if I may quote him, he says, the 38 of us were served with this delicacy, targe. We just ate to put something in our stomachs. It is tasteless and very difficult to swallow. You could imagine how the 38 of us, we just eat in a bowl. Now, for them to sleep, they slept on the floor or on the ground. We just cut leaves and spread on the ground like mats. That was how we slept on the ground. All of us, females and males, that was how we were sleeping. So this, just describes the tragedy of the Nigerian situation and the pain that these 39 persons have gone through. However, the good side of the story is that Francis Paul, who spoke on behalf of the others, said, well, he's determined to go back to school.
Yes.
That he will not give up in spite of, the anguish that he has suffered.
He also even prayed for the bandits, and he says that they don't know God, and he just prays that they know God, so this way they don't, engage in such activities.
These are hardened criminals.
Yes.
There's nothing ideological about this. And this is exactly why I resent statements about how they've been brutalized by Nigeria. I completely resent those statements. Look at what they're doing to people. As you said, Francis was able to get the words out. Did you see Amina? She couldn't even speak. She was crying. They have been through absolute hell on earth. It's heartbreaking, and I just feel for the other 34. Imagine how they felt when they saw the 5 who were lucky to have been picked. Imagine how their families feel. 5 families are relieved now. Obviously, there's going to be a long road to recovery, but at least they're relieved. What about the families of the other 34 people? It's unbearable.
Well, I hope the federal government will do everything in their power to help the remaining. We'll take our final story in the United Kingdom. It's a story we have been monitoring closely here on Arise News. The Essex police have formally identified the body found in Epping Forest as that of missing Nigerian student Richard Okorogheye. The mother of the 19-year-old student of Oxford Brookes University had told investigators that Richard had sickle cell disease and was struggling with shielding and depression during the pandemic. He was declared missing after he left his family home on the evening of March 22nd in Ladbroke Grove, West London. His father described him as a tall and strong teenager who enjoys talking with his friends. The police have described his death as unexplained, dismissing claims of third-party involvement. Rufai, this broke my heart, and even just reading it, I can't imagine what the parents of Richard are going through at this point.
You know, this was a story I wanted so much a happily ever after.
Yes.
I prayed at some point, I thought they were just going to see this, but because when I remember the way his mother was speaking when she was talking to the public, she said, "My child is my oxygen,
Yeah.
he's my crown, is my life." To see a mother say those words, I know what it feels like. And only to see that it's the lifeless body of that child that came back. Very painful. Investigations are on by Scotland Yard. We'll get to the root of the matter. But it is quite very sad. They said he was struggling in school. The question is, they've been able to say, oh, there was no third-party involvement. Could it be a case of suicide? Could it be a case of mental health struggle? Could it be a case of personal struggle? Could it be something they didn't pick it up on time? We can't be too sure, but this is a very heartbreaking story. My heart goes out to his mother and his family at this point in time. Only God knows what they'll be going through emotionally. Only God, because it's a very, very painful one at this point in time.
We've got to wrap, Janika, but let me just add that our thoughts and prayers are with the family, but also to say that this raises a point about race and policing, because the mother, Evelyn Jo, complained about how the police handled the matter.
Right.